Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I am specially addressing the students of 1123 as well as IGCSE 0500, the students who are going to take their P2 writing exam. And as far as the mistakes which the normal students do in their paper 2 writing paper, I am specifically giving you the last minute tips which you are going to listen very attentively, and inshallah they are going to be crucially beneficial for you in your first paper, that is Monday paper of English writing paper 2. And obviously when the IGCSE students would have the same paper with almost 100% the same syllabus, you should also watch this video and avoid these mistakes in your paper. So what are the tips and techniques, and what are the mistakes which majority of the students normally do in hurry and tension of the exam? The first thing which I advise you is that you must not write just simple sentences, because if you will write just simple sentences in narrative essay or directed writing, the grade is going to be badly affected. You must focus on writing compound as well as complex sentences, and do watch the video in which the sentence structure aspect has been explained in detail. The second advice which you can follow, and the instruction is that what you should not do is avoid repetitive, boring vocabulary. Repeatedly, the usage of the word and, but, also, or simple emotive words like happy, sad, they are also going to affect your grades. So please learn synonyms and avoid the boredom of repetitive vocabulary, because once your spellings of challenging words will be accurate, you are going to achieve inshallah A or A star. Now, the accuracy of three things is mandatory: spellings, punctuation, and grammar. Briefly, you can remember it: S, P, G, and do not just use a comma or full stop in punctuation. You should be able to use inverted commas. You should be able to put question mark at the end of an interrogative statement. You should be able to use semicolon. You should be able to use colon. You can even use brackets. You can use exclamation mark. You can use ellipses. Now, all these terms which I have spoken, they have been explained in the video of punctuation. So you can watch that if you think that you are unfamiliar with these terms. But remember that if you will be using just comma and full stop and not the other types of punctuation marks which I have uttered before you, then obviously that will not be varied usage of punctuation, and examiner would definitely not appreciate it. And the third important aspect is mistakes of grammar. Now I'm going to particularly focus on those mistakes, because what are the grammar mistakes which you can do at your level? I will be discussing them in detail. Basic pronouns and their verbs. For example, in the simple present tense, if you are writing, these are the basic pronouns and their verbs which you use them. For example, if it is singular verb he, then you are definitely going to use attends in the present tense, meaning that there would be s at the end of the verb. And if it is singular female verb she, then you will be using she attends, or in case of a word which ends with es, you are going to use snatches, for example. So s or es is going to be added at the end of he, she, or it verbs which come along with these three pronouns. For example, it, so it will be attends. Now these are the very, very basic rules which I am telling you. I will be sharing some advanced levels rules also, because all these rules might be you are familiar with them, but in hurry sometimes you forget the s after attends, after he. So please proofread it very carefully. If the pronoun is they, then you will say attend. If the pronoun is you, then you will say you attend. And if the pronoun is we, then you will say we attend. So he, she, and it verbs would have, he, she, and it pronouns would have s or es at the end of their verbs, whereas they, you, and we and even I, it would not have S or ES at the end. This rule is going to be applicable in the present tense. Now, what if the tense is continuous? You are talking about continuous times. Ing is used. For example, they are playing football. She is singing a song. He is sharing his viewpoint, and I am making a video. So you see, these are very, very basic and simple rules. But honestly speaking, some students even make mistakes of these. So if God forbid you are making these mistakes, then it can be very dangerous. So by avoiding them, you can reach at least C or B grade if you will avoid these mistakes. So if we change the same sentences in passive voice, then what will be done? Now, what is the difference between passive and active voice? These are the above four sentences in black color are active voice. What is active voice? That the subject is at the start and the object is at the end. This is the pattern of an active sentence. Subject she is at the start, song that she is singing is at the end. He subject is at the start, viewpoint is at the end. I subject is at the start and video object is at the end. Now, if I am changing these into passive voice, I will change the position of subject and object. The position of these two will be interchanged. Football is being played by them. Now, not only the position of subject and object has been changed, third form of verb has also been used. Played is here third form. And at the same time, to indicate that it is continuous tense, being is being used. Being. In the same way, in the second example, she is singing a song will be changed into a song is being sung by her, not by them. I deliberately wrote it the other way wrong so that you listen to it carefully and you correct it. Her viewpoint is being shared by, sorry, his viewpoint is being shared by him. And the last example being changed into passive voice is a video is being made by me. Now you can ask that why I am teaching active and passive voice. Where is this part going to be used? If you get report writing in your exam, so you have to hide I. You do not start sentences with I in the report writing question specifically. Over there, you are advised to use passive voice. I will be sharing some more examples of active and passive voice in a few minutes. Now, if you have has, have, and had, many students, I have taught these basic concepts even to O3 students. Some of the struggling students make mistakes with these. So the rules which you have to remember with has, have, and had is that in the present tense we use has or have. With he, she, and it we use has, and with the remaining persons we use have. I repeat, with he, she, and it you use has, and with the remaining persons like you, we, I, we use have. Now look at the example. He has completed his task. After has, have, and had, the rule is that third form of verb is used. After has, have, and had, third form of the verb is used. She has finished her assignment. This is third form of verb. They have attempted the first question. This is third form of the verb. So the basic rules too I have explained in this category. Has and have are present perfect. They are used in the present times. And with he, she, and it we use has. With plural persons or with I and we use have. And as far as had is concerned, it is used in the past tense with all the persons. I had, she had, they had, we had. All the persons we use had and third form of the verb. In the narrative essay, remember that we have to use past tense consistently. Not that we are constantly moving between present and past. That can be disastrous mistake. Let's revise the rules of past tense. So what will be the rules of past tense? Number one rule is that we use second form of verb in the simple past tense. Simple sentences which you will write, simple sentences, they are going to have second form of verb. For example, he left for his school early in the morning. She completed her task before the deadline. This is second form of the verb, and these are simple sentences. For negative sentences, when you want to change them into negative, what will you say? We use did not. When we are writing sentences of negative in the past tense, we say we use did not. And what will be the example? We did not overhear your conversation. The rule is that after did not, first form of verb is used. In the regular sentences of past tense, we use second form of verb. The mistake that the student do is that after did not, they use second form of verb. So that can be a serious mistake. Many a times you would have seen in your notebooks, which sometimes many students don't bother to do, that students have written did not wanted. So you see, it's a very silly mistake because did is already the past tense of do. So why would we add another did not wanted? We will say did not want. I did not want to have a cup of coffee at this time. I did not want to waste my time. So this is how you will remember it. After did not, always use first form of verb. This is the golden rule which I have shared. Don't forget it. Please revise it. Past tense rules are being continued. If you are using continuous sentences in the past, then what will you use? We were, you were, and I was, she was, they were, he was. Again, the rule is that he, she, and it, they have was. I also has was. But you was is wrong. You were. You were. It was. We were. And the remaining sentences, a few I can read. We were presenting our arguments. She was enjoying her tea. He was pretending to sleep. So you see, not only that we used was and were, also notice that we used first form of verb with ing. Why did we use first form of verb? Because was and were already past tense indicators. So that is why we use first form of verb. If there will be no verb errors, if there will be consistent, correct usage of tenses in your paper, that is an excellent sign. There are very few steps that you have to take in order to achieve, in order to change your grade from D to C or C to B. The first step is get rid of mistakes of SPG. The second most important step is that get rid of tenses errors because they are the most serious in nature. So do revise these rules in past tense. In the continuous sentences, we use first form and we use was and were. We use he, she, and it was, I was, and with the remaining we use were. Passive voice. More explanation of passive voice as I promised I will be doing. So where do we use passive voice? In report writing. Why do we use? Because we have to hide I. Why do we hide I? Because it is a formal document and we want to make our suggestions without coming in the front. We just want to make suggestions. So I will be using some examples. For example, I made a suggestion. So instead of that, in the report writing question, you will say, a suggestion was made. By me also you can skip. You can say a suggestion has been made if you are writing in the present tense. And if you are writing in the past tense, then you will say a suggestion was made. I recommend an immediate step against this problem. So how will you change it into passive voice? An immediate step is recommended against this step. What are the steps we have taken in order to change this active voice into passive voice? 2-3 changes we have done. Number one, the position of subject and object have been interchanged. I was at the beginning and now I has been hidden. Third form of verb has been used in the passive voice, whereas in the present, in the active voice, it was first form of verb. So position of subject and object is changed and the tense is changed into third form of verb. I hope it is clear with regard to the rules of active and passive voice. This is a basic concept which is normally taught in grade 6 and 7. But by the time the students reach O levels, they forget it. Now, another serious error which the students do, which you have to get rid of, is subject verb agreement problem. Now, what is subject verb agreement problem? For example, look at the first example. He is the subject and go is the verb and school is the object. Is that clear? This is clear. Now, if the subject is singular, the rule is that the verb should have s or es at the end. This is a rule. So, the first sentence in red color is wrong. The green one is correct. That is why I used these colors while making the slides. He go to school is wrong. He goes to school is correct. Now, this was the most basic example. I will be sharing complex examples as well. The cat and dog chases the ball. Now, cat and dog, if you change it into pronoun, it will be they. If you change cat and dog into a pronoun, what will it become? They. Now, after they, we cannot use chases because with plural verb, we don't use s or es. With singulars, we use s or es. After he, she, and it, we use s or es while making verb. But with they, you, we, and I, we do not use. I uses new pen is wrong. I use a new pen. The next example, the book on the shelf are mine. Now see, in hurry, the students do make this mistake. The book is a singular subject. So the book on the shelf is mine. Again, I have mistyped it. So please apologies for that. And you can correct it into is. Because maybe I was copying and pasting. The students writes their essays. The students write their essays because students are they. So after they, we do not use s or es. This is the rule of this is called subject verb agreement problem. If you will make red sentences, red colored, so they will be considered serious mistake. By just the addition of one s at the wrong place, the whole sentence can be wrong. You see, it is such an important matter. Some more challenging examples of subject verb agreement problems. The team are going to the finals. Now you see the team is a collective noun. Even if there are 100 players in the team or 10 players, team will remain a collective noun. So after team we use is because what will be the pronoun for team? It. So after it we will say it is going to the finals. Each of the students have a laptop. What's wrong with it? Each of the students means every one of the students. So it should have has, not have. The number of students are increasing. The number is one particular subject. Even if you are having students, but don't be dawed by this S because the main subject is number. The number of students is increasing. Blue ones are wrong. And sorry, blue ones are correct and red ones are wrong. Red ones are incorrect sentences because red color is used for making mistakes, pointing out mistakes, and the blue ones are the corrected versions. Last minute tips. I'm just giving you you can say a recap. The first important tip is do not forget to proofread. Please, all these mistakes which I have pointed out, even if you don't know the rules, if you have done some reading in your life, sometimes you can point out these mistakes naturally by yourself. Do not feel the pressure of exams. Many students, considering it to be a CI's exam, on the first day they are having panic attacks without any reason. I have advised them not to study after 8 p.m. tomorrow before the start of the first paper. Start relaxing. Have a very good sleep so that you are fresh on the paper day. And you should have a healthy breakfast. Don't go empty with empty stomach because empty stomach does not trigger good thoughts in the minds. It's a creative writing paper, so you should have a healthy brain. Remain steadfast and calm and do not cross the word limit. Why not? Because the more you write, the more mistakes you make. And please stay on the safe side. Do not experiment with new vocabulary and new things about which you are not 100% sure. Even if you are not sure about the spellings of a word, avoid it. Please stay blessed. Please remember me in prayers. and I wish you all the best for your all exams which are commencing from tomorrow. Allah Hafiz.